Magic Masses! I am longtime independent wrestling fan, Robert. Mambo number 5 was a good show from the Knights of Columbus, the Mecca, in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. There was a pre-show match where we saw Hussein Jafar take on Shotgun Adams. Turns out Shotgun Adams is from the Cypress Hills section of Brooklyn, New York, which is where I live. I wonder what street he possibly lives on. Shotgun Adams defeated Hussein Jafar in the pre-show matchup. Then the main show begins. We have the Rabid Daddies as they challenge John Tella and Oso Blanco Bruno Death Row for the Tag Team Championship in an open challenge, which saw Death Row defeat the Rabid Daddies. After the match, Bruno takes the microphone and issues a challenge to Miracle Generation, knowing that they've been collecting belts because they have another set of tag team titles aside from the Pro Wrestling Magic tag belt. I don't know which other promotion they hold tag gold in right now, but they obviously want more gold. Next up was the first ever White Glove Challenge, the brainchild of ring announcer Shane Fair. And in this first White Glove Challenge, it was aerial combat, as we saw Nolo Kitano, the Ghetto Samurai, take on the freshly Trey Felipe, accompanied the ring by Azriel and Steve Pena. And I believe Mike Donovan came out as well. Trey Felipe was victorious over Nolo Kitano. Next up, we were set to see the Tri-Wizards Championship as RTB, now known as Memory Museum. Only 2 members come out. It was Joe Cruel and I forgot the other guy's name. But unfortunately, V. Daniels did not show up, so they introduced, making his Pro Wrestling Match debut, Brandon Downey. And out comes Project Mayhem, accompanied the ring by Trixie and the newest member who debuted last month at Tough Dumping. Smiley, being the general manager, said, I didn't make this official about you having a new partner, but I will let it slide. And Smiley announced that he will not be participating in this match, and that the new guy, who I don't think has been given a name yet, but Shane Fair referred to him as a psychopath, as it was him, Osito, and Elijah Eden, collectively known as Project Mayhem, as they defeated Memory Museum and Brandon Downey to retain the Tri-Wizards Championship. Next up, we see Jackie Black take on Travis Jacobs, coming to ring by Tony Ice, and I got the other dude's name that came to ringside with him. Well, the other guy, whose name I didn't get, he tried throwing a chain to Jacobs, but Jackie intercepts it, knocks that guy off the apron, and then he uses it on Travis, and he makes a mistake of putting the chain under his armpit, gets on top, and makes gets a pinfall. The referee goes to raise his hand, and the chain falls out from under his arm. And the referee notices that and reverses the decision, enabling Travis Jacobs to get the win over Jackie Black by disqualification. Next matchup, we see the general manager, Smiley, accompanied by Trixie, Osito, Elijah Eaton, and still unnamed Masked Man, as Smiley challenged Donovan for the Dark Arts Championship. Donovan was accompanied to the ring by Azriel, Trey Felipe, Steve Pena, Steve Pena, and Trey Felipe. These guys are having a good match. At one point, everybody's out, Smiley and Donovan are out on the floor, and Project Mayhem and Hispanos Unidos, they end up having a Pier 6 brawl out on the floor. Azrael is, going to town on Osito, and at one point Osito looked like he tried to like sit on my lap, and at one point I tell him, get off of me, and he does. And eventually, all of a sudden, out comes indestructible Steve off with a pipe, and he attacks both Smiley and Donovan with it. As a result, the referee stopped the match, declared a double disqualification. Donovan still the Dark Arts champion. However, Steve Off takes the microphone. He issues a challenge for his Funhouse Wrestling American Lucha title, Donovan's Dark Arts title, and Project Mayhem's Tri-Wizards Championship in a winner-take-all match for Off, Donovan, and Smiley. It happened on Saturday, June 24th, as they present Closing Time. Okay. Next up in a women's match, Journey Burke took on the debuting Vicious Vicky, which saw Vicious Vicky defeat Journey Burke. And then it was time for the main event, as Dan Moff and Kerr did battle with the heavyweight champion, the finisher, Steve Pena, and the Revolver, the Magic Kingdom Ripper, Alex Ryman. At one point in the match, Ryman walked out on Pena, and Pena says, says Moff and Kerr, I'll take on both of you. And Moff says to Pena, champ, and he says to Kerr, former champ. And he says, Moff leaves the ring, Kerr and Pena go at it. Eventually Ryman comes back, hits Moff in the balls. And the end came when Ryman put some kind of choke on Kerr, and Pena hits Moff with a lariat, enabling Pena and Ryman to defeat Dan Moff and Kerr in this tag matchup. After the match, Pena, he's talking about, wow, something, actually, ring announcer Shane Fair announced to the crowd that the matches that are signed for Saturday, for Closing Time on Saturday, June 24th, as it'll be Vinny Pacifico defend the junior heavyweight title against Azrael. Smiley versus Donovan versus Steve Off in a winner-take-all match for the Dark Arts title, the Tri-Wizards title, and the Funhouse Wrestling American Lucha title. And at one point, I think after Moff got up and left the ring, he was trying to go after Ryman. Pena and Kerr in the ring, and Pena says, I'll give you a title shot anytime, and Kerr says, hey, how about right now? And they're going face to face, and that's when Shane Fair made the announcement for those two matches. And then he tells Shane announces to the crowd that also announced that Death Row will take on Miracle Generation for the Tag Team Championship. But he announced two rematches taking place, as Dan Moff will face Alex Ryman, and Steve Pena will defend the heavyweight title against Kerr. Ryman comes out, he takes the microphone, and he says, with my match with Moff, we'll do it his way, in a Bayonne street fight. And then eventually Pena leaves the ring. And, and another thing, and Shane Fair announced to the crowd, he says, as per the general manager Smiley, Jimmy Riot of the commentation station is suspended for the June 24th show due to his biased commentary throughout the night. And when Riot left that area, he gave Smiley a sight for the bird watchers. So there you go. It ended quite a night of action. Surprisingly, this show went without intermission. I think they might want to consider not having streamers at the shows anymore, because so many kids or like little kids are like grabbing streamers and throwing them during the matches. And I remember one wrestling promotion, fans kept doing that, and they eventually stopped having streamers at the shows, or they told the fans not to bring streamers anymore. Okay. Anything else here for you folks? Ooh. Okay, the personal notes time. Great seeing Bruno from the Cuban Hype Men. Yeah. That blonde-haired lady had they were like squeeze toys. I kept thinking of Ernie from Ernie with the rubber ducky on Sesame Street for some reason. Damn. What else can I come up with here? Oh, for the second month in a row, Pete was not there. A lot of people were not there for this one. Elliot wasn't there. Fernando wasn't there. Bill, Jason, Bob 87. Wow. Well, funny thing, current NYWC Tag Team Champions, the Specialists, were in attendance for this show, but they were not in a match, so I'm guessing they were probably helping out before or after the show. Maybe hopefully they'll get booked in the future. Well, as mentioned earlier, Pro Wrestling Magic returns Saturday night, June 24th, as they present their mid-season finale, Closing Time. Match is already announced. The finisher, Steve Penny, defends the heavyweight title against Kerr. Dan Moff takes on Alex Ryman in a Bayonne street fight. Vinny Pacifico defends the junior heavyweight championship against Azriel. Death Row defend the tag team title against Miracle Generation. Smiley versus Donovan versus Steve Off. Winner take-all match for the Dark Arts title, the Tri-Wizards title, and the Funhouse Wrestling America's Championship. I take it the White Glove Challenge is going to continue to be a thing, and I don't know, Shane Ferris, each White Glove Challenge is going to have a theme every time, considering this was aerial combat between Trey Felipe and Nolo Catano. And seeing that, I guess, as Smiley stated, that Prolific is suspended indefinitely, so I don't know if that means Ruthless Lala, the current women's champion, as well. Oh, shoot. Woo! Honestly, folks, as much as I enjoyed this event, this didn't top Tub Thumping last month, which was the anniversary show. I wonder, will Vargas be back? Since that match with Kerr was disrupted by Steve Pena cashing in his key to the kingdom. Also, we did not see Sebastian Cage and Johnny Santos from Hispanos Unidos. I don't know if it's me, but it seems like Project Magic is either becoming the Hispanos Unidos show or the Project Mayhem show, it seems. Certainly June 24th was a great show on paper. Now I have to say, I was thrilled. In fact, this show's titled Mambo No. 5, but they played the song at the beginning of the show, but just before the chorus, the song was turned off. So, without further ado, one, two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The boy said he wants gin and juice, but I really don't wanna beer bust like I had last week. I must stay deep, cause talk is cheap. I like Angela, Pamela, Sandra, and Rita. And as I continue, you know they're getting sweeter. So what can I do for you? I really beg you, my lord. To me, flirting is just like sport. Anything fly, it's all good. Let me jump in the trumpet. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's what I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. Oh, number 5. Jump up and down and move it all around. Take your head to the sound, put your hands on the ground. Take one step left and one step right. One to the front and one to the side. Clap your hands once and clap your hands twice. And it looks like this, and you're doing it. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's what I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. Trumpet. The trumpet. Mambo No. 5. A little bit of Monica in my life. A little bit of Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita's all I need. A little bit of Tina's what I see. A little bit of Sandra in the sun. A little bit of Mary all night long. A little bit of Jessica, here I am. A little bit of you makes me your man. I do also fall in love with a girl like you. You can't run and you can't hide. You and me gonna touch the sky. Mambo No. 5. Before I go, good seeing Sherry Ann and her son Mikey. The lady who I guess handles that table where she has the list of everybody who purchased tickets online. I don't know if she's related to somebody behind the scenes or related to a wrestler. I guess she's gotten quite familiar with me because I showed up and said hello to her, and I even mentioned who I was, and she actually searched searched the list, and she took a marker to cover up my name. I guess she does that for those who arrive. She pointed out where my seat was. So I don't know if that proves I'm getting more and more familiar with everybody. Another thing, after the show ended, I really had to use the bathroom, and I'm going down the stairs. I don't know who, but somebody yells Robert Lottie, and I said, yikes. I don't know, that might have been Azrael or someone else. But, again, great time at Pro Wrestling Magic. And the Magic is just going to continue and continue and continue.